Good morning, you guys. Jesus Christ, you're killing me. You're just killing me. Hey, what do you think? I want to do a follow-up video on that. It's going to say, if at first you don't succeed, try again. That's what I'd like to say. In the story about this, the persistent neighbor, it goes by pretty quick, but the idea is that a friend of yours is going to come to your house in the middle of the night and ask for 3 loaves of bread. And a voice came from inside, says, I am not going to rise up. I'm in bed with my family. I am not going to rise up and give you anything because you're my friend. And then it kind of paraphrases this a little later. It says, but I will do it if you're persistent. And so it sets up the story of ask and you shall receive. And it's a wonderful little story where they would say, as if any father amongst you have their son come up and ask them for this 3 loaves of bread, what would you give him? And there was a series of questions that would be asked, and the first one was, if he asked for bread, that's really what he's asking for. Oh shit! Let's see who this is. Hello? Hello? Goddamn telemarketers, that's all I ever get sometimes. Beep, and then you have this foreign voice come on. I can't tell what they're trying to sell me, but I ain't over it. It's that one chance, if you really have to get something out of you and you want to, just like let it go, do it to one of those, I think that they're meant to, I don't even think they can even hear you. But yeah, exhaust yourself, when you answer the phone and it's the computer, you just empty out. That's catharsis. It's good for you. It's like crying. The tears, just like bad energies and things like that. You just got to get them out of you. They make you sick. Just get rid of them. But anyways, back to the story. What happens is it says if you're a good father and your son asks you for bread, which is knowledge. Or bread is actually, it's the truth. It's the idea that's what feeds on the soul. It's the soul food. So if a good father is, if the son asks for some bread, will he give them a stone? Yes, he would. That's the answer to that, because the stone will give you that higher part. And it says, okay, and the same thing, would he, let's see, what's the next one? Fish. A fish? Fish means knowledge as well. If he's going to would he give him fish or would he give him a serpent? Now, that's the same idea. Fish is about knowledge, about individual things that you learn as you're in the lower conscious. It's just knowledge. And it's a combination of anything that you have, whatever it took you to learn something. Is a good knowledge. But if you were going to wrap that around with the serpent, and the serpent is this idea, this duality that's either there or not. That serpent is that interior energy in you that can change from either a positive situation into a negative situation. And so yeah, this is another introducing you to the stone that we just talked about, and another variation of the word bread. Okay? Because it's really about knowledge and truth. And then there was another question on here, was the egg and the scorpion. Who's supposed to know what this shit is? I have a book that teaches me little things like that, but you can just, once I learn it, I say, oh man, that sounds so cool. The egg is the beginning of everything. It's like the concept of the universe, and it's like, it's the sacrifice, because we got to break that egg. It's got to, because that by itself is whole, and I would think that it's a very feminine thing, that it has to be broken in order for, it's something has to penetrate it, and then it changes from that point on. But it's, that egg is like a symbol of, like, a sweetness or a beginning or something like that. And when it comes to the scorpion is a, it's the people would think that it's a negative sign, but it's actually about discipline. That's where the disciple comes in. It's the sign where Judas is giving up Christ. All right, he dips the sop and hands it to Judas. This is how he knows that. This is how he tells his group that this is the guy that's going to betray me. The only thing is the act of dipping a sop and handing it to someone is actually, hey, this is the only guy on earth that can do this job for me. He's the only one that can take it and do it. He's the treasurer. He's in charge of a certain substance. All right, the treasury, the gold in the temple. All right, so you have to have this part of you that's willing to betray you in order to go on this other side, and this is the scorpion, it's this discipline. All right, so the answers to the first three questions, which sound pretty outrageous, is yes. A good father will do that for his son. Because after that, they talk about the evil side. All right, how do you do it? And then it talks about a house divided amongst itself will certainly fall. How can the lower mind divide itself amongst itself? Who does your purging for you, he says. I can do it with my finger, he says. And he fixes it all up. So, these wonderful stories, they're absolutely always talking about our mind. And the serpent, is this energy within us that's there or not there. Because we can't find it. They can't cut us open and find that. Where are those 7 chakras at? Where are they? I can't find them, so they must not be there. I'm not responsible for that part of the science. But somehow or another, it's all there. It's been there for a long time. It's been there forever. I'm looking around to see what else I can talk about because, we're using all this dark language and killing ourselves and stuff like that, meditation kills, I've been thinking maybe I want to do like a poster or paint a huge sign or something, like a mural, a giant mural. I want to do something. I think it would be real fun. Or rent a sign like in a big city someplace. And put this up there really high where people can't throw shit at it as easily. Or make it so they can, throw something at us if whatever. If you don't like this message, honk or something, Anyways, I don't see a whole mess other things that I could chat about right now other than the persistent story is that anyone seeking will find. And that ask, and it'll be given to you. So it's a wonderful story that shows that, I've spoke of this before. It's that there are some things that have to be cleared before you can make it up into this other thing. Like real hateful people. Or when your mind is really up enough, it just can't settle down enough and let you in. It is only going to ask. It's going to wait for you to ask. But it's going to be up to it to give it to you. But, the idea is there that it's there for you. Just, I think I made it. I know I have. I absolutely know I have. And, I don't have anything other to say to it than, I'm a much happier guy. I was happy before, but much more happier now, far more happier. And the further I live in this and live in it, they say that, the child grows as you grow. So it's it's a wonderful experience and a discipline to, once you can kind of find and make it over there, you're in a better spot. Regardless of the world around us, we still live with everybody. I'm learning myself how to, I don't have to be teaching all the time, I can always have my hate group out here, online someplace, I don't need my hate group next door to me, But I don't know, maybe I'll grow some balls somewhere and not worry about it at all. And just go out at Mallory Square and start teaching it. They have a guy out there now that he's out there all the time with his little thing, teaching people about the Word of God. He does it in a creative way, but you know, he asks this questions of, what do you think about this? Do you know this? And what is that? And all this. And do you know this? And you know, he won't listen. You know, he just talks, keeps talking right over you. It's like, this is something. What? You know, you ask me a question. Do I know what God is? Yes. Can I? You know, listen, I'm going to be the least like motherfucker on earth. Who's going to go around telling everybody that they've been, you know, boonswoggled, you know, that the Bible has turned them all into idiots? Do you think anybody's going to like that? You know, hell no. I'm going to be the least like person on earth. I'll be like Jesus. It's kind of spooky. But anyways, I just want to make this a quick little morning announcement saying hi, and don't stop trying to kill yourself, you know. Somehow or another, the idea of, if you learn to die before you die, that when you die, you'll never die. Alright? I've heard that before somewhere. Some kind of Taoist thing. Alright, best to you guys. I love you guys, and best to you. Bye. Remember, this is the God honest truth.